Leonardo da Vinci was among one of the most important painters of the Italian Renaissance and the father of the High Renaissance style. Born on April 15, 1452 in Vinci, Italy, da Vinci was the epitome of a Renaissance man. When he was 14 years of age, he took up art training under the guidance of Verrocchio. Possessor of a curious mind and keen intellect, da Vinci studied the laws of science and nature, which greatly informed his work as a painter, sculptor, architect, inventor, military engineer, and draftsman. His ideas and bodies of work, which includes The Virgin of the Rocks, The Last Supper, and the Mona Lisa, have influenced countless artists and made da Vinci a leading light of the Italian Renaissance. May 2nd, 1519 marks a legendary date as it was the day the world lost one of the greatest philosophers in history. Da Vinci was buried in the chapel of Saint Hubert in Château d'Amboise in France. One of the many paintings that we'll be discussing today is Bacchus. Da Vinci painted Bacchus in his later years, presumably between 1510 to 1519. The Renaissance techniques he used in this painting are foreshortening, chiaroscuro, sfumato, and realism. In this image, I've highlighted one of the many areas Da Vinci used these techniques, such as foreshortening in the red circle with the pathway retreating into the background, chiaroscuro in the white arrows showing the contrast between the stick and Bacchus's skin, sfumato in the blue circle, the blending on his thigh, and realism with the purple arrow pointing to the realness of his leg. This painting wildly portrays humanism as well as focus on the natural world. This is because the painting depicts the human form without any religious influence. The second painting is Madonna of the Carnation. This oil on canvas was painted between 1478 to 1480. In this painting, Da Vinci uses Roman architectural arches, foreshortening, realism, and chiaroscuro. In the red circles are the architecture. In the blue square is the chiaroscuro, the contrast between the inside of the chapel and the outside world. The yellow arrow pointing to the baby's foot as foreshortening, and the black circle as the baby's arm shows depth and realism. The painting portrays the Renaissance characteristic of return to Roman and Greek architecture due to its use of the arches. The third painting is one of Da Vinci's most well-known works of art, which is the Mona Lisa. Painted in the early 1500s, the famous oil-on-wood painting has to this day many theories surrounding who the mysterious portrait is of. This painting has many techniques used in it, however the most prominent ones are realism, sfumato, chiaroscuro. The white oval shows the blending of color to show the effect of realism on Mona Lisa's face. The green arrows portray the contrast of light and dark between her skin and her clothes, and the orange diamond holds the folds and creases in her attire to show another form of realism. This painting shows humanism because it shows the human form without any sense of religious influence. The fourth painting is The Virgin of the Rocks. It was painted during the early Renaissance between 1483 to 1485. There are two versions of the paintings, and like the Mona Lisa, many theories explaining why that might be so. This painting is regarded as a perfect example of the sfumato technique. With this prominent technique being sfumato, some other techniques also include foreshortening, chiaroscuro, and realism. In the green circle, Da Vinci portrays sfumato as he shows the shading and blending of the rocks. In the pink cross, we see foreshortening as the angel's arm is retreating into the background. In the blue rectangle, we see a sense of realism in the water as it shows reflections. And lastly, the white arrow shows a contrast between light and dark. This painting is solely based on focusing on the natural world, as it is surrounded by many natural aspects such as plants, mountains, and rivers. Da Vinci left behind numerous pieces of art that inspired many people before and after his death. His works, the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, are the most famous paintings, with their fame only being approached by Michelangelo, the creation of Adam. His paintings and diagrams compose a contribution to later generations of artists, rivaled only by that of his contemporary Michelangelo. Having many museums store his works of art, Da Vinci today is widely considered one of the most diversely talented individuals ever to have lived.